Oh, yes, even though I've pressed that, I need to press yes. I think we're good. And we're off. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome back to Satisfactory, where I almost fried the power grid last night. I was doing some stuff with photonic excitingness, and yeah, what I didn't realise was, well, I knew that I was eating into my battery a little bit. What I didn't realise that I was down to, at the time, 20%. We are now charging again, mostly because I was able to unstick the power supply. It backed up with water, and thus everything else backed up, basically. And I am trying to put in a second reactor here. Where are we? I need more of those things. Oh, I don't. This is something that I did off cam. I'll just make these modular frames, and then we can go on a little bit of a tour of this, because yeah, this was all stuff done off cam, and some of this stuff is like I sort of put it together while I was waiting for other stuff to happen, really. You know, so we do have these elements in here of sort of more decorative rather than functional, which is something that I've been trying to do across the factory, and there might be a little bit more of that going on today. But anyway, let me take you on a little bit of a tour. So the death train that's full of uranium comes into what was going to be a sulfur distribution plant, and instead, actually, I've routed the sulfur down here, so it's making sulfuric acid, and then it's combining the uranium with the sulfuric acid and the concrete, which is coming out from over there, down into here, and then that's making all the uranium fuel as it goes through. That is then kicking out uranium waste, going through some reprocessing, and then being turned into plutonium fuel rods, whereupon it then comes over here and then doesn't do anything because this needs water, and water is very picky about going up stuff. So yeah, so I think that's my next port of call, if I can get the water up and running. And I did sort of try it here, but it's getting up to there, and then it's not. So it's not really quite getting over this sort of hump here. Though it might be almost doing it, because I think once the pipe gets full, it should then start theoretically filling along here. It's also got a valve on it, although that's not very far down. Hold on. Maybe if I put a valve on it to stop it from potentially going somewhere else, like down this pipe, which is what it's probably doing. And I'll put another one there. So this will just force this to be one way, so it will, once it gets into later pipe areas, it should then get picked up and flow up this way, and that is now sort of running a bit better, but not quite. I'm probably going to have to tear out this entire section here anyway. Might just drop it down to here, because fluids really do not like going up slopes, so they can be very picky. And in fact, actually no, that has fixed it. Those valves have fixed it, and that's now got the water in it. There we go. Right, yeah, that's working now. So, well, that's fixed that. At least that wasn't actually too bad in the end. There's an awful lot of messiness that I would quite like to see if I can fix. So things like track comes out along here, and maybe just use this sort of setup. Around here. And like that. And there'll just be this constant tick 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 of radiation, especially when that thing passes, because that's full of uranium. I want to basically just continue using this style of ramps, inverted ramps, to kind of create a nice sort of tunnel through. This particular bit, I think we can just hike it up like this. Now this bit, I'll come in a bit here. I think what I need is some of these, maybe like 3 of the, yeah, maybe like 3 of those, because that's all the silica I have on me at the moment. I can maybe convert that over to something else, but you know, just having some nice windows in here will look quite good. Now I just want to get this bit done first before I start looking at the rest of the stuff, because bits and pieces need to be tied to walls, so that I can start getting some of the pipes out of the way. And some of these areas are going to be a little bit hot, so good idea to just get them done now. So I kind of know what I'm dealing with. There we go. That looks better. No, specifically, it's because I do want to move the oh, yeah, so this needs to be fixed around here. So this corner needs to be fixed, and also this section here needs to be fixed as well. It's just looking a little bit messy, and I think we can probably do something here to at least neaten up this corner, so that the truck comes along here. So that's coming along there, so that would go in like that. And then yeah, so this section here needs to be torn down and potentially just worked into the side here. That would look quite good with a sort of a train running through it. So I've already built this one once, and it's just like, oh right, okay, this now needs to be rebuilt. That's fine. So this will be for where this power tower is going, which has now taken out that entire power grid. So it's oh no. Thankfully that didn't work. This section, right, okay, so this section hasn't been, that should now be on power grid. Yes, yeah, that is now charging everything. Oh, good. Well, I've got to obviously make it OSHA compliant. We don't want people sort of running into these things. In fact, I'm going to make a small adjustment to this. So we're going to have a little sort of a linesman hut, I guess, here. A creature is in the way. Creature, get out the way, please. I need to place stuff. Thank you. I'll put one of these on other sections of the of my various railways. I like to have a little hut so that I can put useful things in it, mostly a crafting bench and an equipment workshop. Sometimes they might have a sink in as well, or a shop. In fact, I'm also going to put a shop down here as well, just so that I've got one of these little huts next to the railway, and then in fact that needs to be the other way around, so it just matches with the other door. And then I think quite a nice sort of coated feel to it, with concrete walls. And I'll also build it in a skylight as well. I can't because I'm out of the silica. That's fine. But I will fix the ceiling, so when I'm not out of silica, I can just come along and fix that up. Right. That's now doing that. Now the interesting, of course, that's a minor Mark 1. Right, so these two can come out now because I've got all of that stuff in there. And then we want to get rid of this. Oh, yeah, I used my nuke one. It wasn't actually as impressive as I thought it would be, the nuke one. And the beasties that I wanted to get rid of were still alive after I'd used it, so not great. Not as good as I thought it might be. Okay, that should do the trick. And I will also just axe this one out of the way. Yes, game, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. There we go. And so we just put in our constructors in here. Now the reason why I've just added a little bit of space to this side is because if you put a wall here, it clips with the machine, so you have to kind of pull the wall out a bit to something like that. We've also got this sort of in the way. We can probably cover that up with a little bit of foundation work, or I mean the other option is that you do that, you just cut off the corner like that. There's still a little bit there. We can just mask that with foundation. And of course we'll need power in here. And around here, and then put one of these in. Now, normally what would happen at this point is that I might actually end up having to get a calculator out and start doing maths, though you can't be bothered. So I will just have to wing it. So we need a conveyor splitter. Just gonna rapidly put this thing together. That needs to be a wall out. And put a conveyor merger on. And very, very basic little facility. With now we need to just put in better one of these, which I need one of those. Right. All this can now come out. I was using this for that, so just a small tweak to the dimensional depot setup. So dimensional depot will go there, bring it out there, and then just hook that line up into there for now. And I'll just split it off for now. Oh, for goodness sake, where is it? Okay. So I've got some stuff going into there. Right, good. Now all this can be taken out. I'd already sort of thought about how I was going to fix some of this area before, and now it's kind of changed because it needs to. I think that's already looking a lot better than it did, and certainly once I get the rest of this in with maybe some supports here, that will probably be my next port of call, really, because this is just messy. It's messy to have belts just strewn around everywhere, and I like it all to be reasonably neat. It's never going to be perfectly neat, but, you know, though it's always going to be some weird angles and corners and bends and all that. But yeah, when I get the rest of this section done, so one, two, three. Of course it does. So this is quite a wide bend. Right, that's fixed. and allows me to get rid of the extra bits of extra bits of track here. This needs to be a much smoother run. It shouldn't be coming this way and down. Just wondering if I can sort of get it a little bit of a smoother run around without needing to use platforms. Yeah, I think that's better. Gets it tighter to the ground, meaning that if I need to drive a buggy over it, it's not going to mess it up too much. And then I've got some crates there with some things in. Right, well, that's that bit done. So train can come through down here now. So the next step will be fixing it over on this side. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bit of a tunnel entrance here. It's probably going to be a bit of a buildy stream. I'm thinking doing something like that here again, with maybe a bit of a train door as well, because train door's kind of cool. Obviously, it would just be a single sided one. And then I could probably do that one up there. Starting to now think, well, okay, but the power needs to be moved. And I don't like having this sort of where you've got cables running through everything. Out now. Suddenly it just looks a little cleaner with a little bit less sort of messiness going on. Now, currently this belt goes under here. What I could do is something like this, maybe. Might have to rework this front bit a bit. Not by a huge amount, it's just sort of moving the vast majority of this, just lit these up a little bit. Something like that. I like having these up. It looks almost like it's sort of bracing it. And could probably then do maybe a ramp up. So the idea being that the belt then goes through here, and maybe it gets to a certain point and then it just drops down, maybe through here. So that would be there, and okay, I think that can now just be moved up here for now. This will probably need to be, again, you know, it's all, you know, slowly, you know, you build something, you then go back to it a little while later, neaten it up, get rid of the belts that you don't need. And then I think, well, okay, so I've cleaned that bit up. Gonna need to do something along those lines. That one can stay for now. That one needs to be blocked up. Right, so this bit is nice and wide. So obviously, big pillars. I do love the big pillars. They look big and pillory, as opposed to the small pillars, which do look a little small for when you're really trying to hold up a big thing. And I usually base it off with some just a foundation underneath it, so that it clips into the ground. And even when it's clipping into the ground, it looks about right. As long as you have something on the bottom, rather than it just ending with a pillar, that can look a bit strange. But having the pillar supports either side, that works. It's just a case of whether or not you feel that the support itself works. And we've got a few different types here. And what I'm thinking is using the frame connector rather than the... Yeah, I think I prefer the frame one. So the reason being is, obviously, this is an access point to get to the lower end. And in fact, there's sort of this weird road bit here that does sort of lead into the roadway of here. So yeah, we already have this roadway. We just need to basically, I guess, accent it to basically say, hey, look, there's a thing here that actually is kind of important. It helps with my navigation of these larger spaces. I can find myself getting a little lost in some of the places that I've built. Just because there isn't that sort of reference of, hey, there is a thing here. I'm going to stick with Minecraft rules and do everything in odd numbers. It looks a little strange just vanishing. That's fine, that doesn't need a support. That one does, because it clips in a slightly awkward way. But already that looks better. That does look a lot better. Even if I may have done this a little wrong. By wrong, I mean the Pillars might be in the wrong place, basically. It's fine. Can work this one out. Okay. Yeah, that looks okay for now. Obviously it won't remain the orange panels. That one might have, this one will have to move. That's fine. It does leave me with a little bit of a challenging one. I guess it looks okay. It's not ideal. So we're at 1, 2, 3. Same with this one. Might need a little bit of work here and there because the support just kind of ends, which I'm not a huge fan of that, but maybe it works. Maybe it'll work. I'm not going to be looking at it all the time, so it's not a huge deal if it looks a bit strange. Plus we've got the big pillars here. I think that'll be alright. Let's see how it looks from buggy wise. It needs something here. Oh, my voice is actually starting to go. Well, I think it needs a floodlight. Yes, yeah, the floodlight does definitely help. It could be better if it was centered. Where was it? In organization. No, it's a ceiling light. Yeah, there. Yes, yeah, it definitely needs that light there, just so that it says, hey, this is a place where you want to be going, and then you kind of come down here into the main area. Now, is particular power running, and am I charging? Those are the two big questions. Yes, I am charging, but that power plant is working fine. Why is this one not? I've got no water. Why do I have no water? It was pulling from this one, which all of it's going upstairs. Right. Okay. Right. More water. We need more water. This is gonna need. This one definitely does need a serious tidy up. Not just tidy up either. Not only is it messy, it's it's messy and it doesn't look great. So a lot of this was kind of thrown together a little bit on the fly. So. And just throw a pipeline pump there. Just because I've got quite a lot of reactor rods there now. I could do with a second one next to it. In fact, this entire spot here could be another reactor. Needs a bit more space. Nuclear, okay. And I also need to grab 6 more of these. And this is the nuclear power plant. That can go in there. And that would then give me... Nope. Ability to do that. And then, yeah, shovel a conveyor splitter on here, have this go down here to there, and then a merger. It's kind of how this is completely how I do things. The first phase is an utter tip. While I'm sort of getting the idea of where things need to go, like this needs to be a proper split. Once this kicks in, should be able to produce a little bit more energy, and so on and so forth. I think my next point of call is going to be this. I think sulfuric acid is filling up quite horrendously, and I'm out of silica, which is going to shut that one down. Do I have any quartz nearby? I might do. Oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of quartz up there, and some of it might even be made into silica, so that's something that I need to explore next, I think. But yeah, there's a fair amount of little satellite factories that need neatening up as well. But I think I'm going to end this here, mostly because my voice is dying a bit here. So yes, it will be probably next stream, whenever that may be. It will probably be more of this, potentially. I don't know. I might be able to get some of this cleaned up today. But yeah, this is all just, everything's just a little bit messy still at the moment. So trying to clean it up. But yes, with that, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.